Hey all, so this is the Lucha Libre 2 event. This is a Dark Commander event and Noble Killer. So this is my main team. It has the event ultimate form in, plus 4 other cards. Hits pretty hard, a decent team. The Slayer team here was an idea, but it doesn't really do too much damage. Not really worth talking about. A non-event team here, slightly different to my main team. Then a team for the ultimates, with the relics optimised to break as many shields as possible. So here's my main team. War Machines is the first card on the team to give a nice increase to Dark Commander damage. Also creates power gems and upgrades. Draconic Pantheon, this is kind of essential. It gives a 550% damage buff to one card. Lost Covenant. This is 6 pink stars and 5 times awakened. This is my main hitting card on the team. Increases self-damage, converts, and you can see here creates quite a few power gems as well. Still a really good card, even though it's getting a bit old now. Nightmares of the Tropics, that's the event ultimate form. A big increase to Dark Commander damage, plus upgrades, plus has a revive on the card as well. And finally, Frontier Mavericks. This was a slightly controversial card, as it increases attack rather than damage, but I still think it's a decent card to have on the team. Then for the relics, the first relic here is enough to break all of the shields. Definitely one of my better relics for sure. Then the other 4 relics are just my best Dark Commander relics basically. And that's what I am using as the relics. Nothing super exciting, but these are all decent pink starred relics. That will hopefully increase the damage a bit further. Then for the Slayer team over here, the idea was to try and get as much damage out of the Freedom Fighters as possible. 3 damage boosting cards plus Metaverse Masters to boost it up, but in testing it didn't really do too much damage, so I'll skip on to this team. This is the non-event team with one slight change. Lords of Zalbalba kind of has to replace the event ultimate form if you have it, as it's the only Dark Commander Noble Killer card that has some sort of damage boost. I know it's only 60%, but it's still okay. Then has a revive on it as well. That's the card you want to use anyway if you don't have the event ultimate form. It's a decent replacement, but it's not spectacular. The other cards and relics are exactly the same as the first team over here, so I don't really need to talk too much about those. If you don't have the card here though, Draconic Pantheon, you may want to swap it out for something like Metaverse Masters. I know Metaverse Masters isn't as good as this, but it will make a semi-decent replacement. I'll just bring up Metaverse Masters quickly. There we go. Only 150% with this card though, but it is an alternative option. The damage won't be anywhere near as good though, unfortunately, if you do use this card. But you may have to use it if you don't have the decks that I have here. Then for the ultimates, it's just about the relics basically. So let's go through the relics, see how many shields they break. So this relic here, that's 3 shields. Then 4, so that's 7. Then we have another 2, so that's 9. 2, that's 11. Then I make that 21 in total. My noble relics are not overly good apart from this one, if I'm being honest. So that's what I have kind of had to do there. And there we go, that's the teams I've made up for the event. So let's get on with the actual event. Here we go. Alright, so here's the actual event. What I'll do is hit the Prismatic Boss with my Commander teams, then give my Slayer team a try afterwards as well. So here we go, let's start with my event team, my Dark Commander team. You can see here, the bosses have two reasonably easy to deal with skills, if I'm being honest, so you may not need any sort of counter cards if you don't have the event ultimate form. Anyway, let's give this a go. Alright, so I think the best activation order for this is going to be something like 2, 3, 1, 4, 5. Let's give that a go and see how much damage I'm able to do with the boss with that order. Let's see. There we go. And then something like this. There's only one power gem at the bottom that's loose from the main match, so I don't think that's going to be optimal. I have to bring that in since it's Commander and not Slayer. That's not bad though. I've nearly taken down the boss. Might as well do one more attack and finish it off with this team. Hopefully I can hit nearer to 800, 900 Q or higher even. We shall see that... Oh, it's defeated the boss anyway, okay. That wasn't a bad hit. Maybe not optimal though. So I'll try once more with this team and see if I can get a better grid. Right, here we go. Then after this attack, I'll quit out and then move on to my non-event team so you can see the difference in damage. Let's see what I can do this time around. With the right board, this should be perfect. It's not... Yeah... Not giving me the best board, unfortunately. There's absolutely nothing loose from the main match there, apart from the one regular dark gem. That doesn't really help me too much. There we go, that's the damage anyway. I'll try once more just to see anyway. Determined to get a good hit with this team. I mean, the damage isn't bad even with a bad grid, but it's not the damage that this team can do, so to speak. It could do a lot more than what it's hitting for here. So let's try it again anyway. I still think 2, 3, 1, 4, 5 is the best activation order. The grid crushes together when the middle card is used. I was crushed together on the second card this time around. Let's see though, what sort of board? Oh, that's a lot better. This might be the damage that I'm after now. So just be careful here. I think this is the optimal move. This should be really good damage now. That's what I was waiting for. So let's see what this team can do. There we go. Nice. One big Q, so to speak. Alright, so here we go with the non-event deck. This should still do reasonable damage. No counter for Judgment though. So Judgment could be slightly problematic with the health, but shouldn't cause any major problems. Let's give this a go. Right, so here we go. I will try a similar order to the previous team, something like 2, 3, 1, 4, 5 I think, and see if the damage with that is optimal or not. Let's give it a go and see what happens. Hopefully this will work, but we shall see when I get the attack going. Right, here we go. So that's actually a pretty good grid. I should only need to do this one attack to test out this team. So it won't do as much damage as my event deck, but still 473.2 Q on the middle card here. Lost Covenant. That's still pretty good actually. So that gives an idea of what you can do with a non-event deck. Then to finish, let's try the Slayer team. I don't think this would do much damage, but I think it's worth testing anyway, just to see what it can do. So all the damage should be in the Freedom Fighters on this team, if it's effective or not. Let's see what happens. So I think just left to right actually would be optimal with this sort of team. And then keep an eye on the damage and the bonus attack damage as well. That's not the best board. I'm going to have to pull in the 2 power gem. Then the damage here is what you want to keep an eye on. It's absolutely abysmal. Okay, so this is going to be a complete and utter waste of time using a Slayer team. So let's quit out. I think it was worth a test though, just to see what the damage was with this team. I have 2 decent commander decks, so I will definitely be using them for the event. And that's the team testing done. So it is a special event this time around. We have the TKO Slugfest. So if you want to do well in this, you're going to need to do a lot of crusading. That's where the tokens are obtained. We have the participant sort of tokens as well to start with. You get the relic at the end of the event. Then the league's over here. You can see here it just has these participation tokens. You'll see this change though when we get near the end of the event. You should get the relic based on where you finish. If you do want to go for that though, as I mentioned, focus a lot on crusading. Now for the collection. This time around it's a Warden collection. You can see here Bastion shards, the coins, Wardens as well. Let's go ahead and claim all of this. There we go. Done with that. Tokens, there's the Warden, another Warden there. More tokens, another Dark Warden. Pretty sure that was an older one. Now what is it this time around? Let's have a look. Go over to the leagues page and it's a Light Warden. Merciless Ursulus, or something like that anyway. Defender skill Panic. Panic is one of the worst defender skills in my opinion, so probably a Warden to skip. Plus it's light as well, and many players have really good dark attack teams. But that's what it is anyway. It looks pretty cool from the artwork with the bear. There we go, it's back out of here. Now to claim the random 6-star hero. Let's scroll down and claim the support hero first. Pouncing Pooler? Yeah, that's what it's called. And go ahead and evolve it to 6 stars. There we go, that's that done. So let's claim the bonus hero and see what I get. This is always interesting. Oh, that's the main hero from the current event, I believe. So I should be able to claim the shiny hero as well a bit later on. So here's the event ultimate form again. Nightmares of the Tropics. This has a really nice increase to Dark Commander damage, you can see here. Plus upgrades, plus has a revive. So a bit of everything on the deck. A strong deck for Dark Commander anyway. I think that's the highest damage increase for all cards we have seen so far on Dark Commander. So should be a really useful one to get. Plus there are not many other decent Noble Killer Dark Commander cards. I think the second most recent one is only 60% damage, Lords of Zybalba. Then as always, if you are just going to get the one card, get the card with the damage boost. Amphibious Annihilator, there we go. That has the damage boost plus the revive as well, so all the good features are on this card, making it the best out of the 2 cards. You could also try multiple copies of this with the event ultimate form to try and boost up the damage. And there we go, we're pretty much done with this video. I hope you found that interesting and enjoyable. As always, if you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to help. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is always very much appreciated. I've included a previous video on the screen, plus a playlist. Plus you can also subscribe from here if you want to do so. And thanks for watching.